nominate Honorable Tajuddin Abbas.
I so second.
I rise to humbly accept the nomination.
Is hereby declared the winner and returned elected as the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
This supplementary budget has come in at an appropriate time.
House passes 2023 supplementary appropriation bill, says it will help address the challenges bedeviling Nigerians.
Aware that the National Population Commission has admitted to having spent 200 billion naira.
And lawmakers call for the investigation of the expenditure on the postponed 2023 population and housing census. It's good to have you join us again on another fresh package of the legislative program, House Tickets, a weekly educative program focusing on the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria. In our lineup today, we have reports from the 3-day plenary sitting where lawmakers moved motions and several resolutions were taken on them. We also have the engagement of the House Committee on Appropriations as it invites heads of ministries, departments and agencies to shed light on the 2.17 trillion naira supplementary budget, from where we will see the Minister of Works, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Chairman of Independent National Electoral Commission, amongst others. This will be alongside other engagements by lawmakers. Join us again after this break for details of these stories and more. Please stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. The House on Tuesday, 31st October 2023, received a letter from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on the 2023 Supplementary Appropriation Bill to the tune of over 2 trillion naira for wage payments, cash provision for the vulnerable, as well as for the carrying out of critical infrastructure and projects, and also submission of the 2024 to 2026 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper as a prelude of the 2024 budget. The President expressed optimism that the House will accord the document favorable consideration and due approval.
Please accept, Honorable Speaker, the assurances of my highest consideration. Yours sincerely, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
The documents were referred to the House Committee on Finance. On the same day, the House took the first reading of the bill titled Supplementary Appropriation Bill 2023. Having passed first reading, the bill titled A Bill for an Act to Authorize the Issue from the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Federation the total sum of 2,176,791,286,033 naira only, of which 18 billion naira only is for statutory transfers, 992,802,015,985 naira only is for recurrent non-debt expenditure, while the sum of 1,165,989,270,049 naira only is for contribution to the Development Fund for Capital Expenditure for the year ending on 31st December 2023. The bill scaled second reading on the same day. An executive bill is stood in the name of the House Leader, Representative Julius Ihonwere.
This supplementary budget has come in at an appropriate time when the pressures from different classes and social clusters
please go back to your seat, please.
are beginning to engage the attention of the custodians of state power. Governance at the end of the day is about people. Governance is about change. Governance is about focus and leadership. But more importantly, governance is having the courage to refocus, redirect, and reposition the social formation of a country to achieve better results. And this is what this supplementary budget is all about. I believe
the bill enjoyed the support of several lawmakers.
This is a beautiful budget that they have brought on board. Mr. Speaker, beyond this, on security, they have also thought it wise that in order for us to enhance peace around the country, security of life and property, it is important that expenditure be made on defense. It is part of this because it's the primary purpose of government.
A lot of the information we had in papers about the previous allocations of palliative have not reached some communities. Nigerians have not seen the money released in the past supplementary, particularly those monies that were released to some states. I believe with this new addition, it will address some of those issues.
I want to say, Mr. Speaker, this is indeed a very good supplementary budget that I believe will take care of some of the low-hanging fruits and help our people to recover from some of the pains that they are going through right now, Mr. Speaker.
This is the first time since his inception into office, May 29, that he has sat down and carefully looked at the critical sectors of our infrastructure and the campaign promises he made to Nigeria, and he decided to ask the consent of the House for an approval of some funds so that he will going to serve Nigerians with the greatest agenda of the renewed hope.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
The bill was voted on, approved, and referred to the House Committee on Appropriations. Coming up next on the program is a summary of some of the motions as well as matters of urgent national importance moved by lawmakers during the week under review. The details.
These killings have almost become a daily occurrence.
Representative Awaji Inombek Dagomi Abiante on Wednesday, the 1st of November 2023, moved a motion on the need to curb the dangerous trend in the killing of young girls for ritual purposes.
The recent murder of a 20-year-old girl, Ms. Justina Otuene, an undergraduate student of the Department of Biochemistry, University of Port Harcourt, by one Damian Okoligwe, who is also an undergraduate student of the same university, just last week. The murder of Augusta Osedion, a final year student of Leeds University, in July 2023 by her boyfriend, Benjamin Best, who goes by the nickname Killer Boy. This happened in Lagos. The murder of Ms. Ogeni Fejiro Ochuko, a final year student of Ambrose Ali University, who was equally killed in August 2023 by her boyfriend, Victor Ochonugo, in Benin, and several other unreported cases. This House should be worried that these killings have almost become a daily occurrence, with several other reported cases of missing females with their whereabouts still unknown.
The lawmaker urged the House to call on the Inspector General of Police to set up a crack team to tackle the menace, and that the House Committee on Legislative Compliance should ensure compliance.
Those in support of this motion should say aye.
The motion was voted on, adopted, and referred to the House Committee on Police Affairs as well as that on Legislative Compliance.
A minute silence in honor of the deceased. Please shall we rise. Rest in peace.
Moving on, the House adopted and passed several motions on the other paper, one of which was on the need to investigate the expenditure on the postponed 2023 population and housing census by the National Population Commission and conduct of the National Population/Housing Census. The motion was moved by Representative Dominic Okafor alongside Representative Patrick Umo.
Aware that the National Population Commission has admitted to having spent 200 billion naira as part of the 800 billion naira budgeted for the planning mid-execution of 2023 population and housing census, which was postponed. Also aware that the financial investment in 2023 population census planning will have improved economic planning and distribution of palliatives in the country.
The resolutions taken on the motion were to urge the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces to declare a date for the population and housing census exercise and conduct the 2023 population and housing census to facilitate accurate economic planning. Also urge the federal government to, upon fixing a date for the census, constitute census tribunals in designated centers in accordance with Section 28 of the National Population Commission Act 2004. Further urge the National Population Commission not to relent in its preparation for the 2023 population and housing census and mandate the Committee on Population to investigate the money expended on the postponed 2023 population and housing census by the National Population Commission and liaise with the National Population Commission to ensure a successful population and housing census when proclaimed.
All these situations.
Several lawmakers contributed to the motion.
If we are in our comfort zones today, our houses can be counted, our families can be counted. We should equally bear at the back of our mind that substantial or many Nigerians are displaced. They are not found to be counted, and they will not be found to be counted. Likewise, their houses is not accessible to be counted. So if, as a parliament today, we are urging the federal government to fix a date in this 2023, which we have less than 100 days to go, to embark on 2023 census, I don't think we are fair to Nigerians that are displaced from the northeast, from the southeast, from the north central, and from the northwest. These situations that my colleague referred to were in place when they fixed the 2023 census. And money has been appropriated. Money has been spent. So this motion is only asking that that money appropriated should be accounted for, and a date should be fixed. And it is only the executive that have the prerogative under the Constitution to do that.
Those in support of this motion as amended should say aye.
The motion was voted on, amended, and referred to the House Committee on Population.
The ayes have it.
We will do our best to amend the laws.
Proper bills that will move our country forward.
This country needs to come together.
Nigeria will expect a very resolute House of Assembly.
Thanks for staying tuned. The program continues with the meeting of the House Committee on Appropriations alongside chairmen of other committees of the House, where it engaged ministers as well as key stakeholders from various ministries, departments and agencies over the request from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for approval of the 2.17 trillion naira for the 2023 supplementary budget, stressing the need for the affected ministries to explain how they intend to apply the funds. The meeting was held on Wednesday, 1st November 2023. Please stay tuned for details coming up shortly. Keep watching.
Supplementary appropriation bill to the National Assembly earlier this week.
Speaking during the budget defense, the chairman, House Committee on Appropriations, Representative Abubakar Bichi, stated that the 2.17 trillion supplementary appropriation bill sent to the House of Representatives on Tuesday, 31st October 2023 by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was specifically structured to improve the country's security, food security, as well as critical road infrastructure sectors, and to bridge the housing deficit in the country, including slum upgrade and urban renewal.
It will also support the provision of wage to workers and cash transfers to vulnerable Nigerians.
According to the chairman, 476.5 billion naira was proposed for the Ministry of Defense, 50 billion naira for police formation and command, 100 billion naira was proposed for the Federal Capital Territory, 29.7 billion naira for the Office of the National Security Advisor, 28 billion naira for the State House, 300 billion naira for the Federal Ministry of Works, Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, 200 billion naira, Federal Ministry of Housing, 100 billion naira, 615 billion naira is for service-wide voting. Capital supplementation is 210.5 billion naira. Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, 18 billion naira.
Members of the committee, honorable members.
Defending his ministry's budget, the Minister of Works, David Umahi, spoke on some challenges faced in the ministry, adding that some projects have lasted for so many years without being completed because of the inability of funding.
When I resumed, we had a net a deficit of 6 trillion. And some of these ongoing projects are, interwoven with some critical new projects that we want to add. And there's some projects that have been abandoned in the past 20 years. So Mr. President directed that we should bring all of them on board, and that is going to cost, about 11 trillion. So on the whole, to address our road sector for the next 4 years, we'll be needing about 18.6 trillion. And so the National Assembly must have to, wear a thinking cap on how we can address seriously our road sector.
Chairman of the House Committee on Works, Representative Akinola Alabi, made his comments after the presentation by the minister.
We would actually like to engage the ministry regularly on this matter. We are all in the same boat. We have only one aim. We want to make sure by 2027 the roads, the federal roads especially in the country, are in perfect condition. And that's going to be a plus for this government, for the president, for you, Honorable Minister, and for this House.
I would say here that
the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, during his presentation at the Budget Defense, spoke on numerous challenges in the agricultural sector, while he added that there is need for the provision of seeds and seedlings in the 6 geopolitical zones in the country.
People are taking very huge advantage of the dry season farming, and we have capitalized on that as a ministry to really put our efforts into the dry season farming, especially on the wheat, maize, cassava, and rice. So we have provided seeds and seedlings and other agricultural inputs for each zone of the Federation to the tune of 11.7 billion naira per zone.
Representative Bello Kauji, who happened to be the chairman, House Committee on Agriculture and Food Security, also commented.
The agri budget actually is one of the lowest budget in the entire world. When you go to some other countries, agri budget constitutes a certain percentage of the budget of the country. But here, our own constitutes less than 1-2% of the total budget.
Thank you for the opportunity.
In his presentation, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Nyesom Wike, informed the committee that all abandoned structures within the FCT will be brought down in order not to serve as hideouts for criminals from neighboring states to the FCT, adding that 3.4 billion naira was meant for security equipments, as well as the completion of the Abuja Rail project, among other infrastructures.
Of course, there are infrastructure needed, which is ongoing before I came, or was abandoned before I came. But these infrastructures are needed to be completed now that we have the dry season coming. Take off, for example, B6, B12. When I came on board, I have to make these contractors like Johannesburg and Central and all of them to go back. Now we believe that before we enter the season next year, this infrastructure roads would have been completed.
Chairman of the House Committee on FCT, Representative Mukhtar Betara Aliu, had this to say.
You assured us in the last meeting we had together that by March, April next year, we are going to see a lot of things in FCT. Before, in FCT, everybody believes FCT is only land. But in your time, he said it's not land. Let's develop FCT first, so that we leave legacies by 4 years. Thank you.
For the Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, the Minister Ahmed Engiwa, in his presentation, said that the ministry is planning to upgrade slums across the various geopolitical zones in the country and also have several estates in the 36 states of the Federation.
The first phase of our new city development plans will focus on renewed hub cities and also estates, which we intend to have up to 34,500 housing units and create 240,000 jobs nationwide. That is the essence of this supplementary budget.
When it was the turn of the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, to make his presentation, he clarified that the 18 billion naira in the supplementary appropriation is not all for the conduct of elections, but rather the substantial part of it is all about personnel costs. He added that the Commission has to make provisions for the conduct of by-elections in 11 constituencies, which accounts for an appropriation of 1.6 billion naira, noting that majority of these elections are for the House of Representatives.
There are 5 vacancies in the House of Representatives, 2 caused by death and 3 caused by resignation of honorable members. We have vacancies in 4 state constituencies across the country, and we have vacancies in 2 senatorial districts. And each time we conduct 3 senatorial by-elections, it's like conducting a governorship election, because each state in Nigeria has only 3 senatorial districts. So we have to make provision for the conduct of by-elections in 11 constituencies.
Those who support the INEC chairman should take about one go, say aye. Aye. Those against say no. I serve it. So I believe we have done with all the non-security.
Meanwhile, the security chiefs present at the budget defense included the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja, Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Emmanuel Ogala, as well as the Minister of State for Defense, Bello Matawale. They all made their presentations behind closed doors for security reasons, according to Chairman of the committee.
Please proceed and lay your report.
Meanwhile, the committee submitted its report during plenary on Thursday, 2nd October 2023. The report was presented by the chairman of the committee, Representative Abubakar Kabir Bichi.
The House to receive the report of the Committee on Appropriations on bill for an act to authorize the issue from consolidated revenue funds of the Federation the total sum of 2,176,791,286,033 naira only.
The report was considered same day by the Committee of Supply. The session was presided over by the Speaker, Right Honorable Abbas Tajuddin. The chairman of the committee, Representative Abubakar Kabir, stated that the report of the bill is pursuant to the referral of the House to the Committee on Appropriation and the work done by the committee.
Clause 2.
Clauses 1 to 5 were voted on and approved.
Clause 5. Explanatory memorandum. Long title. Thank you very much.
The recommendation was voted on and approved. Following this, the House reverted to plenary and adopted the report from the Committee of Supply, following a motion moved by Representative Julius Ihonvere.
The House in Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee on Appropriation.
At the plenary, the Speaker Abbas Tajuddin reported progress, after which the reports were adopted.
We have also approved all the clauses 1 to 5. We approved the schedule, the explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill as well.
The lawmakers further expedited action on the bill and passed it for third reading.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk?
For the year ending 31 December 2023, third reading.
That's it for today on House Tickets. It's been an educative half hour spent as we brought you reports from the Green Wing of the National Assembly. The program will be back again next week with another episode documenting the activities of the House of Representatives. Remember to stay safe always. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.